will work out. Okay, let's see what we've got. For anyone joining, oh hey Sith Lord, how's it going? I've got 3 bags of Halo Mega Block sets. I'm going to try and maybe readjust the camera just a bit so you guys get a better view of what's going on here. But yeah, I've got 3 bags of Halo Mega that I have to go through and hopefully try and complete the builds. And I'm just gonna figure that, hey, why not do the live stream while we do it, see what we've got, and cross our fingers that we've got some complete sets here, because I don't know if we do or not, I'll be honest. I got these from Columbus Toy Show, and so yeah, could be good, could be not so good. Guy claimed that they were complete, but you know how those things go, so we'll just have to see what we got. I've got some Covenant, I've got some UNSC, and I think I've got some more UNSC here. This is a smaller bag of sets. We'll start with the smaller sets. I think I've got some sort of UNSC fighter jet. I don't believe I think that's from Halo 4. We've got a something, maybe a Spectre. I think it's from Halo Wars. Sorry for the bad reflections. Also, I can't really do much about that when they're in the bags, so we're gonna get them out. But yeah, these are very OG mega sets. I think like Halo 4 era. So there's a Warthog. Ew, gross. Didn't catch the gunk that's built up there. Love that. I got this bag lot for, I forget how much, 10 bucks? 10 bucks for 3-gallon bags of Halo Mega. And yeah, we got this, which might be like a Hornet of some kind. This is all from bag 1. So let's see what we've got. Halo Mega Blocks, or Mega Constructs, or Mega, or whatever they're rebranding to this year. Who knows? Anyways, this is the Flame Warthog. This one's just dusty. Thankfully, no vile growths. This one's flood infected, I think. Maybe that's what that is. Some flood spores. But this Flame Warthog is pretty sweet. I don't think this is... I look on the bottom as if there's going to be a date there, but there's not. I think this is the original Flame Warthog, not the one that we got more recently. But yeah, we're gonna go through. I'm at my computer desk today, so the computer desk is up here. I'm gonna find some instructions really quick for the Flame Warthog Mega Block. Let's assume that that's what it's called. And let's add some instructions to that. Here we go. Set 97449 UNSC Flame Warthog. That's what we're looking at here. And speaking of Halo, has there been any news on the Jazzwares front lately? Not that I am aware of, unfortunately. There's some pretty good sales going on through the vault. However, that isn't really anything new. That's not good news. Let's put it that way. It's just news. You can get the sets for pretty cheap ultimately, but unfortunately, no new sets have been announced. We haven't gotten really anything except for what was the one that just dropped? The New Spartan Collection Douglas. Was that it? Was it Douglas that just dropped? He's pretty cool. I got him in. He completes Red Team, and I'm very excited about that. But then there hasn't been anything since then, and the only thing that we might be looking forward to is the sets shown at Toy Fair, which were the Master Chief anniversary sets. So I guess we can expect those sometime eventually, but who's to say? Hello, True Sons of Mandalore. How's it going? Nothing much is going on with me. Just building some Halo here. Checking out my instructions for this Halo Warthog. Looks like, yeah, trying to figure out. It's hard to say if all of the pieces in bag one are going to be for these 3 sets, or if I'm going to have to like open all 3 bags and mix and match. I really don't want to do that, but you know, if we got to do it, we got to do it. These red chairs are part of this. I did see minifigures or action figures, mini action figures in these bags, but I don't know if they're complete in that sense. I'd be happy with just the sets, honestly, because realistically, with Mega Block, the figures are easier to find than the actual sets. The figures you can buy in lots, but these sets are so hard to get complete unless you buy it new, because there's no bricklink. There's no option for you to just go and buy these things secondhand or buy missing pieces if you happen to be missing pieces. You're just kind of straight out of luck if that happens. And that's a problem. I've often thought if I was at all good at computer programming that I would do a bricklink for Mega, because there would be a market there, I feel like. There would be a decent market for people looking for pieces and parts and all of that for these sets. I'm going to raise you guys up a little bit more. I think what I'm going to try and do is more of a top-down right there. That seems much more efficient for what we're doing here. So we'll do that. Any favorite Halo Mega sets or just Mega Block sets? Yours is the ODST Ambush with the Jump Pack Trooper Brute. Yeah, that one was really solid. I liked the multi-pack of the ODSTs that we got from Walmart within the last like 4 years. I bought a couple of those when they hit clearance because I knew we weren't really going to see those anytime soon. Again, you know, that's kind of like the end of an era in terms of store releases, but in terms of favorites, I would have to say for Mega Block in general, the Fallout sets, or the Fallout set, the Red Rocket was definitely up there in terms of ultimate sets that I was really stoked to get. For Halo specifically, man, the Scorpion was really good. Any of the Infinite sets were really good. Like, I was just, yeah, I was really excited for those. They were all really good. I think the Scorpion probably has to be my favorite of the Infinite sets. And the only thing that really kills me about that is that we didn't get more of those over time. Like, because the game didn't do well, we never got like sets to go along with the updates. So like when they did the Rakshasa armor, which is my favorite armor core, they didn't ever make a set for that. They didn't make a figure for that. So that kind of was a bummer, just a little bit. And then from there, it was just downhill. So we got the great opening lineup for Infinite, and then just straight downhill from there. That's about the size of it. Okay, so we have 2 Warthogs here. Flame Warthog, and I think just a generic like Halo 4 Warthog. We're missing a tire for this one. Looks like we've got another seat that can go in there. Again, the guy assured me that the pieces were there, but I told him, I was like, I trust you, but I also just don't trust Mega because, you know, again, you're missing one piece from these sets and there's nothing you can do about it. I can't go and buy just this, you know, 2x3 plate. I have to go find a set that has this exact pearlized silver color and then, you know, go from there. And there's no real place to do that unless I just buy the set new or used and hope that I can find that exact piece. So Halo Mega is one of those things that's just a bummer, you know? There's just no good way to piece it together unless you buy the set new or used with 100% completeness. Just trying to figure out what pieces I'm trying to put on here. And again, they might not even be in this bag. It's kind of looking like they're not going to be in this bag because these pieces don't go to it. This doesn't go to it. That light doesn't go to it. And if anyone can identify this, I think this is like a... I think it's a Hornet, but I don't remember this Hornet set. Really cool windscreen piece, though, this yellow. And it's just like got a nice sliding action there. So if anybody can identify that, that would be helpful. I can look up instructions for that maybe next. Got chunks of these pieces here. That, I don't know. That definitely doesn't look Warthog-like. Yeah, none of these pieces here that are left really look terribly Warthog-like. So we might have to break open another bag and then just move on and try and like come back to these as we go, because it doesn't seem like we're going to have much luck with each bag. Unfortunately, also this chain gun is missing a lower piece, so we'll have to play around with that maybe a little bit later and see if we can't get it to still work. Let's see. Trying to hunt McFarlane Halo 3 and Reach figures. Yeah, I'm always on the hunt for McFarlane Halo figures. Those are few and far between when you're like at toy shows and stuff. They do exist, but they're just very hard to find. And eBay has gotten more expensive. I've also been on the look for Joyride figures. I always want to get more Joyride figures in my collection, and those also are steadily going up in price. I feel like the last time I bought them, I got them at a really good price. And ever since then, I've just not been able to find them at the same price point, unfortunately. So, yeah, I'm always on the look for those. But I admit, like, it's when you're looking for Halo, Mega is kind of lower on my list just because it's more of a building toy. And I like Halo collectibles, so I'm always looking for Joyride, McFarlane, to a lesser extent Jazzwares, but I'm still always after anything Halo. And then I just like the collectible stuff. I like the... Like, I would love to get a Kudabakai statue of Master Chief. That would be probably one of my holy grails of holy grails, the one with the bubble shield. So, yeah, let's see here. The Hornet from around 2014, when they switched... Oh, okay, set 97123. All right, let's see what we got here. Will I be able to find them? Nine, 7, 1, 2, 3. That's easy enough to remember. No, I don't want AI mode. Please and thank you. Oh, nice. Okay, this actually might solve the other question, which is what is the purple set that I have here? So that is the Hornet. So this is the other one that we have here. But then I have all these purple pieces and a mostly built vampire. I didn't realize that this was called a vampire. Is this from Halo Wars or something? It has to be, because I don't recognize this from any of the games. But I also might just be dumb. I don't know. But there's like a mostly built vampire, so that's cool. That gets us well on the way for that set, and we're just going to kind of scooch some stuff around here. And we're into bag number 2, so let's see what we've got here. Looks like the engine turbine for the Hornet. That's nicely mostly built. I do appreciate with Mega, like Lego, you never want to get half built because it's hard to verify pieces and stuff, but with Mega, I honestly prefer it just because Mega is so finicky sometimes. I would rather it be pre-built than not pre-built. Let's see, does that match pretty well? Kind of. I don't think this piece goes here. Yeah, I think we're missing like a little rotor piece there, but then we'll have those engines complete. Okay, that's good, that's good. Got a gas tank for, I think, that Warthog back there. Found a Reach Spartan mint in box in my country for just 15 buckaroos, hoping I get to buy it soon enough because I've been bleeding money for a hot minute. Yeah, that's real. I've spent way too much money on, unfortunately, life stuff lately. Video coming out on that soon. Stay tuned. But I have spent a lot of money on things that are not toy related, unfortunately, and so that has led to some cutbacks in terms of toys and purchases of those things. However, these all here came from a toy show. Like I said, these came from Columbus Toy Show, which I went to, and I loved setting up as a seller to make some money back, but then also, of course, had to do some shopping, and this was one of my guilty pleasures, was buying a little Halo set for $10, man. $10 for 3-gallon bags, or maybe it was 12. He had it for 15, and I always try to haggle at shows. Maybe it's a bad habit, but I really do just always go, would you take $5 less? Would you take $3 less or something? And you know, it happens. But ultimately, he did give me a deal on it, and I was really grateful. Because again, there's no guarantee that these pieces were all here, and so I was kind of like, listen, I gotta build all these. I'm not totally sure I want to spend 15 on what could be a bunch of incomplete sets. I didn't see all the minifigures for one. That was a big, like, maybe not kind of area, but we'll see. That's the point of this whole live stream. We'll see. That looks like the crossbar for the Flame Warthog. That's pretty sweet. Let's see. Okay. Hi, Callum. How's it going? I'm doing all right here. I'm having a good time building some Halo. I guess this will be our next mystery set. I have no clue what this is, but it's going into the pile of mystery pieces and parts for the time. I think that this is the back to the Flame Warthog. So that gets us to right there. All right. Oh, there goes that. That went on the floor. That's all right. That's a pretty good start. I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. That's without instructions, we're doing all right piecing that together. And we've got the crossbar. Snap that into place. All right. Thoughts on the UCS Belgian Waffle Death Star? Well, first and foremost, I will not be spending $1,000 on Lego anytime soon, but it's a cool playset. It gives me vibes of the, what was it, the Hoth UCS set that was just like a big battlefield. It wasn't really a detailed model. It gives me those vibes, and those vibes are fine. However, they are not very good UCS vibes, and so for most people, I understand the problem with that set. I get why $1,000 for really just a floating disc is too much. It's cool. I think the minifigure selection is pretty fun. They did a good job of pulling in some fun references like the Beach Troopers and the obscure Astromech droid. But for the most part, no, that is not worth $1,000. And to me personally, it's not really... what would you say? It's not UCS enough for a UCS Death Star. I would much prefer something that was a globe, that was round. I want a round Death Star, globular. That's what I'm looking for, not a disc. But hey, you know what? I'm just happy that M&R Productions was able to make hundreds of dollars off of a video where he didn't review the set. I'm so glad that other people can do stuff like that and grift, I guess. Let's see what's going on. Interior on the Death Star is pretty cool. Yeah, that's fair. The interior is great, but for $1,000 for a playset, it's woof. I mean, if they made it as like maybe modules, like they did with the Hogwarts sets, that would be cool. Like little Death Star modules that if you bought them all for $1,000 total or something, you'd end up getting that as your reward, I guess, for investing that kind of money. But yeah, no one is buying that for their kid, I don't think. And that's really a shame. For that type of set, for the design that they put into it, it feels like it should be more of a children's set, a little like play set. And yeah, it's weird. It's hard to hard to gauge that, where the line should be for cost and everything. But ultimately, I think that it kind of defeats the purpose of what Lego's intended to be. That might just be me. Maybe I'm just being a little pretentious with my Lego hot takes, but yeah, it's a tall order to justify that. I'm just looking for where this piece goes on my Covenant Vampire here. It's missing any kind of sign, but it's got that, but it's not the right one, but it doesn't go there. Curious, maybe I should, I don't know, look at the instructions? No, we don't do that. Did I back the gunship? Yes. Wait, hang on a second. You met M&R Productions the other day? I don't know. How was that? Tell me honestly, how was that? Was that a good experience overall? Was that a positive experience? Or was that like a meme-worthy experience where you kind of had to chuckle a little bit? I don't want to slander anybody here, but I do have my own personal hot takes when it comes to good old M&R Productions. Got some flame pieces here. This is peak ADHD building. I've got 4 different sets here that I'm building simultaneously, and I can just pick and choose which ones I'm going to complete as I go. It's actually kind of peak. Did I back the gunship? Yes, I did back the gunship, regrettably so. And in fact, I wouldn't mind backing a second one at this point. I've got 3 of the old ones, but obviously it's just, there's nothing that's going to compare to that really, really good one. And so if I got 2, then I would definitely sell all the rest of my gunships and keep only the Tiger Shark and the 2 HasLabs. But that's a financially risky move. I'm dropping pieces on the floor. Can't be doing that, man. These are precious Halo Mega Blocks. We can't be dropping these pieces. I have no idea where that went. Hopefully it wasn't vital to this building here, but we've got our first sign of minifigures. We've got Master Chief, new body mold, new armor, probably a pretty early version of this figure actually. So we've got Master Chief Halo 4 edition reporting for duty. We've got other Spartan in red armor. He is from the Hornet set, I believe. He's from the Hornet set. Master Chief is probably from a different set. I say so confidently. We have an old style Halo 4 Marine. Love that. I hate this design. This is one of my hot takes of Halo. Halo 4 and 5 are fine, except for their art style. I've actually never played Halo 5, so I have to admit that that also isn't that hot of a take. I've never played Halo 5, even though I'm a huge Halo fan. I saw the reviews of it and I said, nah, not for me. Shadow Warrior mentioned. Quick, guys, quick, pull up the 332nd live-action Clone Troopers and then ask Hot Toys why they haven't made one yet. I need one in my collection immediately. Yeah, that's fair. When you meet somebody, no matter how, like, you know, memed on they are as a person, you realize that they are just a person at the end of the day. And probably as long as they're not doing something actually horrible and bad as, like, on like a moral level, they could be as annoying or whatever as you want. As long as they're not being dishonest or in any way immoral, then yeah, there's no reason to really hate on them, especially on the internet. Everybody wants to hate on somebody, and M&R gets some flack. Some of it I think is deserved as like a critique of his style, but like I'm sure, well, as far as I know, I don't know the man personally. I've never met him, so as far as I know, there's no reason to really hate on the man. He just kind of annoys me when it comes to his way of doing things with Lego reviews and that sort of thing. But ultimately, you know, who am I to judge? I probably wouldn't even cross his radar as a YouTuber, so I'm not too bothered about that. But anyways, yeah, it's cool that you get to meet people like that. I do enjoy it when I run into other YouTubers or just, you know, people that are also like that I've interacted with online, and then you run into them in person, and it's kind of a surreal but fun experience to encounter that. So that is pretty awesome, honestly. If that's an early Halo 4 chief, it probably came from the broadsword, which explains the mystery cockpit piece from earlier. Hot Toys needs to make the FBX Shock Trooper, man. Hot Toys just needs to get on making anything that isn't the most obscure clone trooper ever known to man. Them pulling Hound out of thin air was fine. I'm not really mad about that. But what on earth are they doing when they pull that out and they haven't done like Commander Bly, Commander Gree? They're showing a clone trooper that came on screen for like 30 seconds, maybe. That's a little bit crazy. Again, not complaining at all. Like, in the world of collecting, I would have never expected to get a Hound. But, my goodness, what are they on about? Okay, broadsword, midnight strike, instructions. Okay, I don't think it's the broadsword. The broadsword looks different. That Master Chief looks like it's from the broadsword, but this is what I'm dealing with here for UNSC sets, and that does not look like it matches. The cockpit definitely doesn't match. The cockpit is more angular, so maybe there's a saber. Maybe that's what we're looking for, a saber. Okay, well, that gets us a little bit closer. Saber from the launch countdown. Yeah, send me a DM about that. I would love to know what your experience was with meeting M&R. Okay, so it actually, this looks like, weirdly enough, I don't have any other pieces from Countdown, but this is definitely the saber from Countdown. That's a fascinating piece to find in this lot. No other pieces from Countdown, like none of the build at all. Doesn't have the orange fuel canister, but that is absolutely what it is. So I'll have to find instructions for just that part of the set, I guess. How weird. You know, you don't often find like separated sets like that. You might find an incomplete entire set, but that's like someone bought the set, didn't like the build, and then decided that they were just gonna pull the ship from it. Saber with gantry. That must be what it is. Oops. Yeah, there it is. Okay, all right. That's good. That's good to know. So any silver pieces realistically will go to the saber, and we can set those aside. Probably, I say semi-confidently. I think I need to maybe, I don't have a lot of room here, but I feel like I need to maybe clean off some of these bricks and try to go back and color sort these things to get a more precise view of what we're doing here. I'm convinced the Mega Falcons are a myth. Never saw the original in store as a kid, and never had a chance to get the new one. I did get the Falcon Sweep. I think that's what it was. The new Falcon Sweep with the full Noble team. I had to fight tooth and nail to get that. I think I missed the original drop, and then they did the second release, and that was the only way that I got one. And I tried to order two, and I literally only got one. So yeah, that was just a horrible, horrible release from Mega, and I wish that they would realize that they're basically just leaving tons of money on the table by not doing a better coordinated release of that set. Such a popular design, such popular characters, and then they just said, no, we actually hate money, and we super never want to actually get this into the hands of the fans. So that's just how it goes sometimes. Oh, we have another Spartan. not really. We actually have a Flame Marine. I don't think this came in any of the sets that are here. That's cool, though. Flame Marines are still useful. So it looks like we are definitely missing minifigures here. Again, the guy was like, "Oh no, these are super complete. Don't worry, they're super complete." So in terms of super complete sets here, we have maybe like 50% of the figures we need, which is okay. I don't mind. I bought them specifically for the sets and the pieces, not for necessarily having all the figures. But again, he was saying they were complete, and I kind of knew that that was a little bit, maybe some BS happening there. Maybe not intentionally. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He didn't really know. But this one came from the Hornet set. This one, I don't know what this one came from. It's like a blue Master Chief, old body mold with a red visor. We've got the old body Flame Trooper, old body Halo 4 Marine. So these two probably came together. And then we have the new body mold Master Chief, which I think did come with the broadsword, but we don't have that set here. So interesting mix. Definitely an interesting mix. Always good to have some extra figures, but again, we're here for the sets mostly. We want to get some nice complete sets if we can. So we'll get some engines over there. And these are at least from the years of Halo, or I should say the years from Mega, not necessarily Halo specifically, but just Mega in general, where the sets are actually halfway decent. They have better friction. They just hold together better. I bought the first wave of Halo sets when they came out with all the excitement in the world, only to find that the sets were absolutely horrible and fell apart anytime you tried to play with them. So I ended up actually just building a lot of my own sets with Lego and then using the Halo Mega figures in combination with those. It was a better deal until they made better systems. The blue Halo 4 Chief came from an Oni Reap X set. Interesting. Interesting. I don't know that set. I'll have to look that one up next. Once I get a few more of these pieces sorted. I wonder if I can use... Yeah, I've got a tote lid here. I'm going to start maybe piecing some sets off onto the side here. Are the TV show sets worth it? I actually have not bought... Well, have I bought one of those? I think I bought the Fleet Com on clearance. And that one actually is worth it to me on clearance. The Fleet Com Warthog has a lot of cool pieces and parts with it. Obviously, the show is whatever, but the color of armor that they give to those Spartans is really cool, and you can mix and match those pieces together, because I think there's maybe like 3 or 4 Spartan figures from different sets that all have the same like steel gray. And so if you're into making your own kit bashed armor pieces and your own Spartans, which is what I like to do with those minifigures, then the Fleet Com is definitely worth it. The other ones, not really. Not in my opinion, at least. I think there's just, the Mongoose and then the Banshee. Those are really whatever to me. But if you can find them on clearance, hey, go for it. That would be my suggestion. Always hunt the clearance, especially nowadays. Around here, I've got Meijer stores, and they have put those sets on clearance a couple times now. I'm waiting for the Monitor to go on sale because I would like to have that set. And I bought up the last of their... What did they have? I bought the last of their Flood Brute mystery bags, and then I also got... was it the Wasp? There was like 1 or 2 Wasps left when I got there, and I think I bought one. And then I bought... Yeah, a couple more of the mystery bags of just different sets that I felt like we're just not going to get again. Like the Infected Brute, we're never going to get that again, even if Mega continues as a brand, which is questionable at best these days, it seems. They're just not really giving us any kind of hope that they're still going to be producing toys, let alone Halo toys. But Yeah, we can always hope. I still hope, but I just don't know. Oh gosh, Ben wants to marry me, but you know what? I don't have a ring yet. No ring, man. You gotta supply me with a ring packaged with 6 Hot Toys clone troopers, and then we can talk about marriage. That's gonna be the that's my dowry. My dowry is some would say it's expensive, but man, I'm worth it. TV show Mongoose is hitting Ross for $6. I've been slacking on building it. Hey, $6 for a set is not bad, even if it's not that great of a set. I mean, that's like buying Lego for $6. You really can't go wrong, even if it's like a city set. I would still buy a city set for $6. So that's my take on it. At least I don't think cheap Lego or cheap Mega is a bad move. Let's see here. I think that goes there. I don't know for sure. We're getting some progress on the Flame Hog. This is actually looking more like a set every day, which I love. I didn't realize there was dark green pieces on here. I have some pretty crap lighting, so there's that. That. Need an antenna for the back, which I don't think there's any antenna pieces here, but I know that would go down there somewhere. Yeah, actually, you know what? There is a Halo wedding ring now. They've made the Halo wedding band where it looks like the actual ring itself, and then they have resin and printing on the inside so that it looks like land, which I think is pretty cool. I personally probably would never wear that for my wedding, but I will say that is kind of fun for the super fans. It's just not my style. I struggle to even wear like graphic t-shirts because I like graphic t-shirts, but I just don't like the vibe of wearing graphic t-shirts. Like, wearing a Halo t-shirt or wearing a Star Wars t-shirt. I don't know why. I've always just been like, I just feel weird wearing them. It's hard to explain. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but that's been how I've been most of my life. I'm like, oh, cool, I got a Halo shirt, and then I just won't wear it because I just feel weird wearing like the advertisement for this thing that I like. Sound off in chat if this is you. Anyways, we're getting there. This is looking pretty much complete, I think. The chain gun is broken in one piece in one place, and there's a missing brick underneath this. But that is a complete flame warthog, and to me that's worth $10. So right there, if everything else is incomplete, I can deal with that. This makes it well worth the time. Bro said One Piece. Yes, I am actually secretly deep down an anime nerd. That's not true, chat. I've never watched an anime in my life except for an attempt at watching Gundam at one point and watching 75% of Cowboy Bebop. I never finished Cowboy Bebop. I liked the show. I just could not get into... oh my gosh. I just realized what this absolutely disgusting, foul nastiness is on this warthog. There's screws under here. This warthog is a something. Either it's like a light up version or like a lights and sound version, and so that is battery acid from the batteries that have probably been in here since this thing was made. So that'll clean up, thankfully. That won't really damage the bricks, but not really pleasant and probably not something that's going to actually work again. So this is probably shot in terms of the electronics, but that's kind of fun. I didn't realize that Mega had dabbled in the world of lights and sounds for their toys. Kind of crazy that they tried that. Maybe that explains some of the bankruptcy, but it is what it is, man. Get the jerry cans on the back here. And put that off to the side till we find some more pieces for it. Gotta finish Cowboy Bebop. I was the same way, but the finale is great. Yeah, it's nothing against Cowboy Bebop. I just have the attention span of someone that has no attention span. And I know that that's like everybody's excuse nowadays. I am working very hard to get that back. Trying to read more books, trying to be more slow speed, with my life. But unfortunately, it has caused brain rot, and now I am bad with TV shows. I've always been, a little bit short attention span, but now TV shows are like, oh, when is this thing over? So I gotta work on that. Looking up instructions here for the warthog that is light up. Warthog, gauze warthog, night ops warthog. This doesn't look very night ops warthoggy, but it does have lights and sounds. So maybe this is the night ops gauze warthog. Let's try it. Let's give it a whirl. Let's look up some instructions. 97134. Nine, 7, 1, 3, 4. Yeah, that's looking pretty much like that's what it is. Came with a Promethean Knight, a Spartan Soldier, and some other Spartan, which I don't really recognize. Excellent. I love it when a plan comes together. Mega is back, bro. Don't even worry about it. Mega is back in a big way. They're making Hot Wheels cars now. It's my favorite. That was what I was hoping they would do. I would hate for them to bring back Halo. No, bring back Mega Block cars from the movie Cars. Ka-chow. No, I think that, unfortunately, Lego is going to reign supreme in the block world, and we will never see another competitor that actually can do semi-decent block sets like Halo Mega could do. I mean, look at that. This is like a whole action figure in your hands. It's like less than 2 inches tall. This is really sweet. This is something that Mega did very, very well, was making miniature action figures for the Call of Duty and Halo lines. And yeah, we're never going to get something like this from Lego, which is fine. Like, that's not Lego's point. But man, I love these little miniature Halo action figures. They're just fun. But yeah, there's that one. That's Master Chief. Let's see. Speaking of batteries, I got a Revenge of the Sith Deluxe Palpatine with the floppy head, and it had inside corroded 20-year-old batteries. Deluxe Palpatine. I'm not entirely sure what that would be. Deluxe Palpatine with batteries. I can think of a couple different versions that might have had batteries, but I don't know off the top of my head exactly which one you're talking about. There were some like lightsaber light up ones that I remember. Funny enough, Lego actually revealed a Cars set today. Excuse me. That's amazing. Lego has a way with pulling out some of the weirdest sets out of like thin air. Just like Hot Toys, honestly. The way Hot Toys is like, we're going to make Obscure Clone Trooper number 37. I'm back on that. I'm back on that kick. I'm back on complaining about Hot Toys and their weird set choices. It'll never cease to amaze me. This is actually getting kind of not really tedious, but it's just getting confusing because it's difficult to know where I'm supposed to begin. Like where exactly did pieces fall off from these sets and things like that, you know? And which step in the instructions do I need to start with? It probably would be better to disassemble all of these down to, you know, bare bones and start from there, but I don't really want to do that because that is way too much work. The one that has a flip head gimmick with lighting effects. I'm sure the lightsaber without the saber. Oh, the quick change. Okay, Palpatine quick change is not one that I'm actually familiar with. I'll have to do some digging and do some research on that. It's always fun. There's just times where, without even realizing it, there's figures that have just kind of slipped under my radar. And so every now and then, it's happening less and less these days, but every now and then something comes up and I go, oh, that's, you know, that's not even a set that I knew existed, or a figure that I knew existed. And that's always a little treat, you know? There's not many that are left that I don't know about. And that's not like a brag or anything. It's just a matter of fact where, you know, you do this long enough, you watch enough JCC 2224 videos, and suddenly you know every single figure out there, and there's nothing left, man. Really trying to lock in here and actually know what I'm doing. It isn't working. These have stickers, which I don't think... Oh, there we go. The stickers go on the tail piece here. So that goes there. And that goes there. Okay. All right. It's starting to look like something. It's looking a little bit more Halo-esque. Are we still missing pieces? 100%. 1,000,000%. Are we getting close, though? Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Which personality of Sam is with us right now? It could be Sam. It could be Rust Belt Collector. We'll never know. It's only the best and the late night chats. Liquid J4. I don't know what that means, but I'll take it. I'll take it as a compliment, I hope. Imagine me, but on like a Celsius right now. Right now I'm running on like lack of sleep and very low energy. This would be more like mellow chill hangout session, but I feel like you just get one Celsius in me, man, and I'm raging. But yeah. Moving is good. We're just about there, man. Just about done with the move. The rest is unpacking and then just going mentally insane. Never doing that again. Never, ever, ever in my life do I ever want to move again. Yo, we got the lights and sounds. How did I even do that? What did I even press? What did I even press to make the lights and sounds light and sound? Is it a shake? Is it the wheel? What am I doing wrong here? I am so confused. Never in my life have I been so confused about a play feature. Imagine being a child and like nothing activated except for just the accidental mishap. What on earth? All right, so chat, if you know how the lights and sounds on this works, leave it down in the comments below. That's crazy. And of course, there's still pieces missing on the floor, so we'll just have to find those later. Yes, we did. We moved together. We're all set up here. We're unloaded, and that's about it. Everything is off the truck, and I'm currently in a new studio. You guys can be the first to hear that. I'm in a new setup here. This is the first of something new and incredible. I'm really excited for it, honestly. It's a bit intense, a bit scary, a bit getting used to, but ultimately, I think you guys are going to really like what's coming down the pipeline. Me personally, I'm excited. Some new projects in the works here. Okay, there we go. There we go. Look at that. That's looking more spaceship-like. It's missing so many pieces. Oh my gosh. Yeah. New room tour in the new place, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that would be on the roster. Keep your eyes peeled. I got some things that I'm cooking up, and that just might be one of them. We just never know, you know? You just never know. The other thing with building Mega Block sets, and I'm sure I'm not the only person who's felt this way, but they really did not have good graphic designers for their instructions, and they didn't have good engineers for their sets. Like, these pieces are some of the weirdest and some of the oddest arrangements, and then when they tell you to build in certain ways, they're like, and now turn it 375 degrees around and, you know, turn on your head and do this, that, and the other thing, and then insert this random piece into another random piece. And if you're lucky and you pray really, really hard, the set will stay together. And I just don't understand why that is the case. What's going on? Wait, hang on. Are you ready for Battlefield 6? I can't wait to not revive Jesse. Don't worry, I'll run medic class and I'll keep Jesse safe. I'll take care of our boy Jesse. I am excited for the game though. I got to play the beta or the beta, whatever it is. I think beta is the fish and beta is the male. But I got to play the beta a little bit and it was good. I was having a good time with it. I'm hopeful that like more map rotations come out and some more in-depth things like that. But obviously it will. Like I'm not expecting them to drop the full game in a test run like that. But I'm excited for what else there is. Like, I was feeling like it was good, but I wanted more meat on the bones, you know. We've got those front wing assemblies done, it looks like, for the most part. Yeah, I'm setting up some new gaming areas as well, and so with that, there's going to be more opportunity to hopefully have time for some games like that. Also, time for oh, interesting. I've been looking. Sorry, off on a tangent, but this has been tricking me this whole time. I've been looking for another translucent 4x1 plate, and this is actually a Lego brick, as is the translucent piece. These are just Lego pieces, so those don't belong there at all. That's kind of funny to be tricked by a Lego piece in a Mega Block set. But yeah, there's I want to get back into having some space for some games. I want to get back and play some single player games that I've been needing to catch up on. Like, I still have not completed Red Dead Redemption 2. I know how it ends, but I just want to play it for myself, see it through to the end. And yeah, I mean, I have it there, and I've just been waiting and waiting and waiting. So I'm hoping that with some new routines in life and some new, you know, setups that are a little bit more convenient, hopefully I can make that happen. We are getting there. This one, I'm really pleasantly surprised. This is actually looking to be somewhat more complete than I thought. We're pretty much winning here, chat. We're winning. We're winning here. Just need one more little plate to go behind this one, which I think is in a dark metallic gray, making it all the harder to see against my mouse pad here. But that's okay. That's a piece that I'm okay with losing. Let's see. Yeah, dude, it's just tough to keep up with games. I like to typically play, you know, every now and then, and so I end up playing more multiplayer games instead of, you know, big single player games. Like I've often talked about replaying Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, and yeah, I don't have the time. But hey, there we go. There is the vampire. The vampire is mostly complete. It looks like we're missing this little like side blaster on this one, and then we're also missing this little plate here. This piece might turn up. There's still more pieces I have to go through, so that's pretty cool though. The vampire is a cool set. I think this might be from Halo Wars. I don't know, but that's cool. That's nice to have complete. I don't really have many Covenant ships in my armada right now, so having one just like that is pretty awesome. We've also got the Flame Warthog 90% built as well. I think we're going to jump, since we're on the Spirit, or the Vampire, we might as well go and look at the Hornet here. Gotta scroll all the way back up to the top. Or no, I don't. How do I... Show me what I need. Good grief, these websites are just so badly maintained. That's one of those things that just comes out when you're looking for old stuff from Mega. They really just did not manage their archives well. And it's such a shame because, you know, again, there's no bricklink for Halo Mega Block. There's no way to buy individual pieces and parts. It's literally just the luck of the draw that you might be able to have a complete set. And if anybody knows computer programming and wants to help me build a bricklink for Mega Block, hit me up, because I'll make that happen. Helldivers 2 is really awesome. I think I've logged like 80 some hours into that already. Just incredible. I love the game. I love the Halo crossover. I, of course, immediately bought that day one. It's a great game. It's a great crossover. And if Jazzwares was more proactive with their Halo line, it would be awesome to get an ODST with the Helldivers cape and, you know, maybe some other little fun, you know, references or crossover toys that would just kind of help that go that much further, I guess. I don't know. It's a shame. I know it's not like inherently anybody's fault. It's more so just Halo as a property has not been performing well. But man alive, would I like more Halo toys in my collection, on the shelf, all of the above. Like, there's just nothing like those early days when Halo Infinite was coming out and every shelf had something Halo on it, and now we're here where there's just nothing. That's a tough transition. I got really into collecting because of what Jazzwares was doing, and now we're here, and it's kind of a bummer because I'm not one that jumps between toy lines that much. I'm sure I do over time, over a long enough period of time, but typically I just like what I like. I like my Clone Troopers, I like my Halo, and yeah, it limits what I can really do with the channel sometimes, because I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy something I don't actually want, because that's just wasteful of money and my time. But when the things that I want aren't being made, that's also frustrating because, well, then what do you do? You can't go out and buy new Halo products if they don't make them. So, again, that's not anybody's fault. The games didn't do well. They had a weird, rough launch, and there's just a lot of factors that went into that whole thing, and yeah, it just sucks. So, you got to do what you got to do with what you got. Let's see here. I don't know that this is built correctly. I'll be honest. Have a good one, Adam. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. Appreciate you stopping by for a time. Have a good night. Hopefully everything goes well for you. Let's see here. What do we got going on with these pieces and parts? I'm really trying to work backwards with this thing, and it's not going as well as I'd hoped. I've got a lot of pieces that are just kind of floating here. And I'm trying to make sure that I actually do this right. That goes there, and this goes there. And maybe upside down we'll start to see some clarity. Not especially, actually. Again, going back to my earlier comments about just how odd some of the design choices for mega sets are. They're just odd, man. The instructions are not the clearest things in the world, and so I'm really just going and guessing at my best course of action here. But we'll get it. You know, we'll carry on as best we can. But yeah, man, I hope that we get some good new Halo products here soon. Not necessarily toy products. I think that that's more of a, you know, passing ship that we might get more if we're lucky and, you know, a new game comes out soon or something like that. But until then, I'm hopeful that we get just that. We get a new game. Anything to really boost the Halo title as a whole, because I love Halo. Always have. Always will. I don't like to see it just kind of float dead in the water the way that it has been. I'm not really sure what it would take to revitalize it, and I know you can kind of do like the Marvel thing or the Star Wars thing and beat the dead horse into oblivion until the IP is just ruined. But, you know, I just think we just need a good solid Halo game, like a good Halo game, and then we would be back with some good toys and some good just energy overall in the gaming community. You know, that's what we kind of need, is a little bit of a booster shot to get some people back in the fandom. All right. Sorry, just checking in on my schematics here and my instructions, making sure that I'm at least building this half correctly. Have I gone after the U2's figures? You know, I have some U2's figures. I have the ones that are from Final Space, which is a TV show that I really like. I used to watch the creator Olin Rogers on YouTube, and he was able to make this show called Final Space. It's a really good cartoon, really fun watch, very nostalgic for me because it just brings so much of Olin Rogers, the person's character, to the screen, his writing style, his humor, all of that. So I really liked that, and there was no toys made of it for a very long time, and then U2's made some of the characters, and I have those. I have not tracked down the Halo figures yet. That's kind of a maybe someday kind of deal, you know? because they're just so much like the Funko Pops, and I have a disdain for Funko Pops. I'll be honest. I don't like Funko Pop figures for a lot of reasons. And so I'm like torn because I really want, more Halo figures, but then the only Halo figures that I can get are basically glorified Funko Pops. And so, yeah, it's what a world, man. What a first world problem to be complaining about. Oh no, they don't make the toys that I want to buy as a grown man. Only make them as Funko Pop cartoons. But I digress. I wish that they made more Spartan Collection type figures and stuff like that more than U2s. I think they're really cool, and I think that for the right collector, they're even better. They're just not really my speed. So yeah, you know how it is. All right, we're back to missing some pieces here, which is okay. We're doing all right with this one, honestly. This Hornet is coming together fairly well. That goes there. And we have some pre-built pieces like this, which are hard to tell what goes where, I think. This is where it gets interesting when you're trying to piece it together. Well, the missing piece was attached to that, so that's a help. That's a help right there. There we go. I think it goes like that. And we've got this other piece here. And then we can do... we're still missing an angled slope piece. There's that. Helldivers is in the same situation with U2s. Yeah, that's how Funko Pops got their start, though. They got the brands and such that just weren't getting proper toy lines made of them, and yeah, it's a smart business move, but it's just frustrating that we don't see actual mainline releases of that type of stuff. I think the video game market and the toy market are two very separate beasts. Like, most people that play video games aren't going out and looking to buy action figures, really, of any kind. But at the same time, I just feel like there's some sort of way that you could make it work where you could have both be true. Somebody would maybe I'm wrong here, but I feel like there's a way to market obscure toy lines to gamers and actually have them buy them. It just depends, I guess. It really just depends. I'm not in marketing. I'm not in toy production. So, what do I know? At the end of the day, companies got to make money. And so if you make a toy and nobody buys it and it goes to Ollie's, well, you're not going to see more of those toys get made. So, or Five Below, or whatever the other ones are. We've just seen that a lot recently. So I think that toy companies are not as willing to take risks on smaller brands and smaller IPs like Helldivers, and so we get U2s instead of anything actually cool, which is a shame. How's it going, collector of a different toy? Hope you're having a good Friday evening. This is just reminding me of like that meme where people are like, I don't see you at the club. And then it cuts to someone going, well, I don't see you at, and then it's like whatever their niche interest is. So I don't see you at the Rust Belt Collector live stream building Halo Mega Blocks. So don't talk to me until you're there, man. Don't talk to me. Don't come by my house. I love Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I don't know why that came to mind just then, but it did. It did. Don't call me. Don't come by my don't come by my house. We're done. Those movies were really good, and I loved them. And then they made remakes and weird 3D model cartoons, and they were really bad. They were so bad. Oh, they tried though. They tried to get more money out of the series, and they didn't do a terribly good job of it. All right, this is, you know, we're actually doing pretty good with the Vampire and the Hornet are so far the most complete out of these. They're like 99% complete. There's a few missing pieces here and there. Like I'm missing most of the back paneling here for the like the stand or the landing gear, but the wings are complete. Cockpit's there. A lot of the stickered pieces are there. So we're all right. Is it 100% complete like the guy that sold it to me said it was? No, absolutely not. But it's it's there. It's there enough to where if I needed to, I could just go to eBay, find somebody selling an incomplete version of this set, and I could get some of it. You know, that's kind of the thing you got to do with Mega Bloks. When you go to buy these used and you can't find them complete, you can't just go to Bricklink, and so you kind of just have to buy as many of the set used as you can until you get enough to like piece one together. So I could go out and buy another one of these. I really don't know what they go for, and then hopefully get the right missing pieces included in that lot to then complete this one. I still feel like the clone HasLab gunship is just not happening. It's not that it's bad, just for the price of it. I feel like it could get you at least come with 4 regular Phase 1 clones. You know, I honestly agree a little bit with that sentiment. The price point for the HasLab is rough at best, I would say. Did I still back it? Yes, I did. But yeah, it's not great. And so it should have, realistically, my thing was it should have 1 to 2 more panels for the nose art, and then it should come with 2 clones. Out of the box, like, they can be loose. They can just be packaged in tissue paper. But it should have come with 2 clones at least. And it doesn't, which cuts into the value quite a bit. I don't think it's unreasonable to ask what they're asking, but I just don't think that it's like a good offering. It's just kind of like a okay offering. That's my take on it, at least. And again, I backed it. I will keep it. I will keep my reserved one. You know, like I'm gonna continue to keep it backed. And I do think it will fund. I don't think we're going to get any of the tiers. I was really hoping we would at least reach Coleman Trevor, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, yeah, realistically, it will back. In my head, at least, I'm 90% confident that it will back at this point. But, yeah, no extra goodies for the collectors. It's going to just barely squeeze by, and then yeah, that's all we're gonna get, which is okay. You know, it's okay only because I want the gunship. So any version of it is okay with me, but it's not okay that that's really all we're getting. To make it worth it, especially if I was to buy 2 or more, it would really need to back the tiers because that's what I want to sell. You know, if I bought 2 of them, I would buy 2, keep the gunships, and then I would sell the figures from one of them because I just wouldn't need them. But that's not going to be realistic now. So, yeah. I scored 2 in-box McFarlane Green Hayabusa exclusive figures today for only $45 a piece. One has a loose triple kill medal, but they're both mint. That's a pretty awesome deal. Those are one of those figures that I only recently knew existed. There's just so many weird, obscure McFarlane figures that I lose track of them, and that green Hayabusa was one that I just now was like, oh, that was a thing. It's pretty cool. You'll have to remind me what that was an exclusive for. I can't remember if that was like a Toys R Us or something, but it seemed like everybody was getting exclusives back in the day, and so there's weird variants, there's just all kinds of crazy things throughout that, and yeah, pretty awesome. Pretty good deal for 45. Like, I hate hearing that they cost 45 now to get a sealed Halo figure. I saw a CQB at Columbus Toy Show where I got these. I saw a sealed steel CQB from Halo 3, and that was one of the ones that I really wanted on card, and I just couldn't pull the trigger because I think he was asking like 60 a piece for them, and I was just like, man, I could maybe justify like 30, but 60 is just crazy. I don't need it that bad, you know? That's not, I don't know, that's just where I'm at with collecting now, where I'm trying to be more practical with my spending, and it's like, I would like a sealed CQB, because that's the one I had as a kid, was like the Series 3 CQB with battle rifle, but no, I can't justify that kind of money for it. I don't want it that bad, you know? Oh, let's see. Also, yeah, locking the Phase 1 pilot to the gunship is really ridiculous. That was the other thing. That pilot should be it should be exactly what it is, a Phase 1 pilot. But then we should get a Phase 2 helmet that's swappable. That would make it that would be the exclusive part. So we get the standard Phase 1. The Phase 1 then can be released later on down the line in any repaint that they want to do. Like, give me Warthog, give me Hawk, give me, I don't know the other clone pilots, Matchstick, Broadside. Give me all those. Give me all those on that mold. But specifically, the Phase 1 pilot should be not locked in the HasLab. It should be, you know, a helmet swap or something to make it exclusive, and then the figure itself should be wide open to repaints, kind of like what they did with the Ghost Crew. You know, we got standard release of the Ghost Crew along with the HasLab exclusive versions, and that's more what it should be. I don't know. I can't believe that we're that limited with the HasLab, and we're not getting any kind of breathing room, really. Like, we're not getting any kind of hopeful incentives that are outside of just back this thing or else, you know. That's kind of how Hasbro approached this, and I don't really love that. Now we're on to the Saber. I kind of got as far as I could on the Hornet. There's, again, still probably like 10 or 15 pieces missing, but we'll start here. Where it misses the funding goal at the last second. I mean, it really could. Like, feasibly, it could still fail. It's not locked in by any means. I don't want it to fail because that just has really bad repercussions for the rest of the year and just a lot of things like that. But if it does fail, I mean, chances are that's a bad sign for Vintage Collection as a whole. I think that if it fails, it means that Hasbro is going to learn the wrong lesson from that, and then they're going to be like, oh, see, nobody wants prequel toys, nobody wants that stuff, so we're going to just, you know, gut the entire Geonosis toy line, and you're not going to see half as much as we would get if it does fund. Companies just take the wrong lessons from these types of circumstances, and it's very, very frustrating. Kind of gotta go through and take this apart a little bit now because I'm not sure what goes where. Reverse engineering is what we're doing here. There we go. Do a little bit of that, a little bit of that. none of this being on screen is hilarious. And in classic fashion, these pieces are not like seating together the way that they should. I feel like I have to constantly compress the entire set just to get it to latch together, but such is the classic Mega Block story. My McFarlane Grails are Shipmaster. I want Jazzwares to release the World of Halo 1. Yeah, no, the Shipmaster is awesome. I finally tracked one down fairly recently. I think I did it last year, and that was a huge surprise. I forget. I think I had to buy it in like a lot. I couldn't single carded. Just it was too expensive. But by some miracle, I ended up finding it in a lot for, something, I don't know, something less expensive. I could not tell you how much I spent on it. I don't remember, but it wasn't as much. And so I always just tell people, like, when you're looking for something like a Grail, always be looking in lots and bundles. I have a video actually coming out soon where I, by some stroke of luck, actually found one of my Grails for 2025. And it was exactly the same story. It was in a lot, and I bought the lot, hoping that it would be in there, and it was. And yeah, you'll see in the video. I'm really excited for that video to drop. That'll be coming soon as well. But this one will be, there actually will be one about this stuff here, these mega sets. That's going to be more in the pipeline than the Grail set. I have a lot of backlog right now for videos, and so I'm just working as best I can with what I got, trying to get those all uploaded, Not only uploaded, but actually recorded in some cases. That's the other thing. Getting them all recorded, sitting down, doing all that work takes time, unfortunately. Takes time. I think that goes like that. And this one. Mediocre to terrible stretch goals is what killed the Black Series Rancor, the only HasLab I actually backed. Yeah, the Rancor was a real surprise to me because I always felt like Black Series collectors were much more fanatical than Vintage Collection in some ways. Yeah, they were so adamant about wanting a HasLab, and then they were kind of given a crummy HasLab, and then it failed, and that kind of sucked for a lot of people, actually. Didn't you find one of those really rare 2.0 Hero Factory dual molded Recon Team chest pieces? Yes, I did actually, and that's actually going to be part of this video. So the video that this Mega Block lot is in will actually have that content as well. I'm not sure how is this supposed to fit together? But yeah, that video is the one that's going to be pretty interesting, I think. But yeah, that was a very interesting experience as well, finding this lot, finding the Team Recon chest plate. That is all going to be part of the same video, and it's going to be a pretty cool haul. There's actually more to it as well. Not much, but there's a few little surprises along the way. Had to take a sip of water. Yeah, the Saber's coming along decently well. This is by far the most complex build here, and so I'm not loving the odds of it being complete. I wish this one would be complete, because this Saber would be really awesome with my Halo Reach figures. But alas, I don't think that this one is going to be yielding any kind of completeness tonight. This is going to be very much the yeah, this would be one that I would need to buy another set incomplete and then merge them all together. That's the only way that this one would actually come to completion. That's just the way that it is. But we'll get there. We'll do our best here. Trying to work backwards here. Get back to the. Let's see. There's a sticker there that's may not even go to this set, honestly. Got that. Aha. Okay, so that needs to come apart. Yeah, in reality, I should have just taken this whole thing apart in pieces and done it that way, but I really don't want to do that if I can help it. It's just too much work. But if I really was committed to the bit here, that would 100% be the move to make. Just because otherwise you're constantly building and unbuilding and rebuilding, and yeah, it's just way messier doing it this way. Or you'll find something like this. So this is like a whole chunk that's like partially complete, and I can sort of figure out where that goes, but yeah, it makes you kind of have to work backwards. I think that's right. I think. We'll see how this goes. I'm kind of winding down for the night. Getting a little bit sleepy here. Been doing this for pretty long time, actually. This is going on. This has been a good live stream. Just fun hanging out and chilling. And I was going to do this anyways, so better to do it with some company. But we're nearing what I would call the end of the chat. But I definitely want to do this again soon. This was always fun. I like doing live stream builds. Recently filled a big hole in my Bionicle collection. I finally completed the 2008 Toa. That's impressive. 2008 Toa, does that mean... Shouldn't have attached this. Shouldn't have attached this yet. 2008 Toa, though, is that like the Toa Metru? Is that who I'm thinking of for the 2008 era? I can never get my years right, but Toa Metru was definitely up there with my favorite, pretty much my favorite Toa teams were in the Metru era, especially the Toa Haga. We never got complete versions of their team, but my goal is to build the fan versions, the ones that won the fan contest for the Toa Haga. They're just so cool, man. I wish we got complete sets of them. I have Toa Iruni and Toa... the other one, the red one. I have Toa Iruni and the red one. But, yeah, they are some of the coolest designed Toa in the entire universe of Bionicle, and we really should have got the whole team. Oh, Toa Nuva is 2008. Okay, hey, that's pretty impressive. The older figures have definitely gotten harder to come by, so finding those is no easy feat, especially finding like a complete set of them, especially if you're, oh man, if you were able to get the mask recolors, boy, oh boy, that would be a score in and of itself. All right. See, there we go. We've got like the nose of the saber, I think. Famous last words. We have it built, sir. Oh no, we have nothing built whatsoever. And actually, yeah, literally just scrolled down to the next thing and realized we are missing like all of the side. Oops, we're missing all of the side paneling that goes up here. I don't have any of the angled pieces that go to that, and it's on both sides. So this is, it's a bit of a bummer. It's a pretty incomplete saber, but hey, that's what you get for $10 at a toy show. You get most of a saber. You get a saber after I'm done piloting it on Legendary Edition. That's what this is. That's what this is. Oh wait, 2008 was Toa Nuva with their adaptive armor. Oh my gosh, I'm like, I'm way off. 2008 was the Fantoka series? Man, oh man, I feel old now because in my head I'm thinking when you said Toa Nuva, I'm thinking like the Toa Nuva, like the old ones. But if 2008 was, wow, I feel so old just hearing that. I'm thinking in my head of a completely different series of figures, and I guess probably 8 years earlier, right? Like the original Toa Nuva was probably like 99 or 2000. Good grief. Good grief. Got the biggest Bionicle Grails with the Scorpio SV1, the big transforming tank Scorpion vehicle from 2009. I remember that set. I saw that in the magazine, and boy, I wanted that so bad. All of those big like vehicle sets that they did were so unique and so out of character for Bionicle that I desperately wanted them. Didn't really ever get them, but man, they were high on my list of sets. I always imagine like, ooh, if I ever won a Lego contest, that would be one of the sets that I chose for my prize. That also never happened, but you know, a kid can dream. Toa Nuva were 2002. Man, that does just make me feel old. Like I grew up with like the Toa Nuva, the Toa Mata. Um, Not like they were old when I had them, or not old, but they were a couple years old by the time that I got them. But still, like they were definitely in my head. They were like new, and then the really new Bionicles were like the Toa Metru for me, when they did like Vakama and Nokama and all of those. That was the new Bionicle era for me, and then from there it was just whatever came after. I fell in and out of Bionicle after that time frame, and so yeah, that's so bizarre to think about them being 2008 for Fantoka, because Fantoka was like, I was almost completely out of Bionicle at that point, and I was like, man, they really ruined these designs for the characters. Glad I don't play with Bionicle anymore. Meanwhile, now I would absolutely love to just like track down any Bionicle ever. any scrap of dopamine from my childhood. Please send it here. Not having a ton of luck finding these pieces. This is getting, I'm trying to get it all in frame here. Maybe if I elevate the camera a little bit. You can see here, this is actually pretty nice. Like it's probably 60% complete, but yeah, we're definitely kind of cooked on some of the larger paneling pieces for the sides along the cockpit there. Yeah, that's a bummer. It looks good. It really does look good. It just is missing some of those very crucial pieces that I wish we had. But hey, again, for the price, I can't complain too much. Pretty sweet deal for some good mega pieces. Nothing to complain about, really. That doesn't go there. That's the wrong piece. There we go. All right, well, there's that. And let's see what else we got. We've got the Lights and Sound Warthog That is also pretty well complete. Still have no idea how this thing makes light and sound. I have been like pressing all of the different areas on this thing, and I'm not getting anything except for pieces falling off. See, I don't know what is causing that. I don't understand. I'm glad it still works, even with all the battery acid leaking out of it. But we'll get this cleaned up. We'll have a mostly working Warthog here soon enough. We also got the Flame Warthog. That's working pretty nicely. That's about 99% complete, minus the figures, of course. We got the Vampire, which is also about 99.9% complete. I really think that this is the most complete set of the night. And then finally, we have this, the Hornet from that same set. I'll zoom out here a little bit. Pretty cool. Pretty cool lineup. I'm actually pretty pleased with this. Again, for 10 bucks, you get a few Halo figures over here. Nothing crazy. A couple of those. Some mostly complete sets and some pretty fascinating ones like this Saber with no additional builds. Just the Saber. So, yeah, you know, we just hit the, we're a little bit over an hour and a half. I think I'm going to wrap this stream up here, but keep in mind, there's some new content coming that might be a little bit surprising or just good, I hope. Hopefully good. And, yeah, stay tuned for that. New collection tours coming soon, and I've got some good reviews coming soon. These are going to be in a video. I also have another haul video that I need to do, and, yeah. Anyways, appreciate y'all hanging out with me for this long. This was a fun little evening build. Hope you got some entertainment out of it. And yeah, catch y'all later. Have a good night.